Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a long time. It's been a long time, but you know, we did take a break for about a month, but we are diving headfirst into this because you know what? We want to inform the people. So this is going to be the Universal Studios Hollywood Horror Nights tips and tricks
for 2023.
for 2023.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So these tips and tricks that we kind of put together are for people that are going for only one day. The other ticket options, which you know are aware of from the last video, which include like Universal Express, RIP, all of those were already discussed in the last video. So this is more for people that are just going to be going for one day, and we just wanted to give you the best experience to get the most out of your money.
Yeah, because I believe the prices went up for single day tickets and for the passes this year. So you really want to squeeze as much as you can, especially if you're only buying a single day ticket. Do expect the lines for the houses this year to be very, very long, especially with some of the houses that we're going to talk about. Their lines are going to be long all year round. So hopefully this video can help you get some sort of understanding and a little bit better, I don't know, I guess grasp on the whole event, because it is an event in the small hours that they host it. I honestly, it's hard to get all the houses and all the experiences that you're gonna do. Some of these experiences are now like changed since the special effects theater isn't there anymore. They had to switch around the entertainment, so we're gonna try and help you get a better understanding.
So first we're going to talk about what do you want to get out of the event. So again, it's a limited amount of time, like any other event, like Oogie Boogie Bash, other hosted events. You have to figure out what you want to get out of the experience. So of course there's food options, there's different haunted houses, the terror tram, the live entertainment, and also the rides and the merch, because there will be short lines and everybody's going to want this merch this year.
Yep.
So
I think for this year the most anticipated thing is going to be the lower lot houses, which technically that's every year. But really, it's. I think since it's the first year they have no restrictions at all, it's going to be a lot bigger than it was the previous years that we've gone. I think this is what, our third year for me.
I was like, been going for a while.
But us as like together, this is our third year, and the event has slowly gotten a little bit more or less restrictive. There's more people last year than there were the year before, and so on. This year, the houses and all the entertainment and stuff seems to be pretty good.
So because you brought up the houses and going to the lower lot, I'm going to go ahead and talk about briefly, not go into detail, the houses that are going to be at Horror Nights, because there are 8 of them that were announced. The scare zones were announced, the terror tram was announced, and the live entertainment was announced, and then like a little bonus thing.
Yeah.
So on the lower lot, when you head down the escalators, you're going to go, if you go straight to where Transformers is, to the left, if you went to last year's Horror Nights, that was the weekend maze, that's going to be Stranger Things 4. This hasn't been completely confirmed, like where they're going to be, but everybody's already kind of seen the writing on the walls, so Stranger Things 4 is supposed to be there. And then where Killer Clowns from Outer Space was last year on the lower lot, that's going to be the Holidays in Hell maze. And then The Last of Us is going to be where
The Mummy queue is.
The Mummy queue is. And then
Where Monsters Collide was last year, where you have to walk around the Mummy show building.
And then The Exorcist. They said that there's one of the other show buildings is supposed to have the Exorcist Believer in there.
So that's new for this year's event.
Yeah, is having another big show building to put a maze in, which I love because it gives them so much room and creative space. So it's like they're not skimping on anything, any of the details. So that's the lower lot. Then if we go back to the upper lot, as soon as you walk in, next to where the diner is,
Mel's
Diner and like the Paris area, there is going to be Monstros there, the Monsters of Latin America. And then
the scare zone, the Mummy, it's La Momia. It's supposed to be like a movie, Hollywood themed mummy scare zone. Right when you walk out of the exit for Monstros, it's going to be right there.
Yeah. Okay, Evil Dead Rise is going to be where The Walking Dead used to be, and where the Hollywood Horror one was last year.
The hotel.
So those are the 2 on the upper lot. And then you're gonna go through Harry Potter again and through that new route past the rides. Turn left, and then it'll take you to the Chucky Maze and then Universal Monsters Unmasked. So that's all 8 of the houses. As you walk in, that's going to be the Toys scare zone.
Oh, the one with the fire?
The one with where the fire towers are. That's going to be Toys because people have already, and I'll see if I can include snips from people's videos, but they've already showed like piles of toys next to the fire towers, so you can only assume. Mm-hmm. Cody already mentioned Las Momias, and then what was the last one? There is one more. Oh, Ghosts. I'm pretty sure they're just gonna maybe put Ghosts on the lower lot. I'm not too sure where they're gonna have that one.
That's just what I would assume.
Yeah, but the last scare zone is called Ghosts. So, and then the Terror Tram this year is gonna be called the Exterminators. It's gonna be hosted by Larry Larva, and it's gonna be my 2 worst nightmares. Probably the only 2 things that I don't love in this world. Like, I love everything scary, but I don't like bugs, and it's all gonna be bugs. Mm-hmm. And then I'll show you a picture of Larry Larva. His whole face has a bunch of like little holes, and I can't stand a bunch of little holes. Like, they give me the heebie-jeebies.
Trypophobia.
Yeah, it's like trypophobia. Like, I can't. Me da ansia if you speak Spanish.
Ansias.
Like, it's yeah. And then the little like side thing that I said they're gonna include is, it's rumored to be where Kung Fu Panda's like queue is before you load into the theater. There have been a bunch of boxes, and I'll see if I can find clips again from somebody's video to include right here. There have been boxes that are like sheeted off in black sheets, and they announced that they're gonna do a Blumhouse behind the Screams thing in there. So, you know, I'll pull up the tweet too. Somebody asked if it was going to be, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's. The tweet says upcoming, does that mean Five Nights at Freddy's? And they put, it sure does. Horror Nights responded that. So I'm assuming they're going to probably have movie props from FNAF, and then they're going to have movie props probably from Megan or from The Exorcist.
Yeah, The Exorcist Believer.
So
yeah, I was kind of bummed when they announced the rest of the houses at Midsummer Scream, and Five Nights wasn't announced. It's kind of a bummer, especially because like that's the whole idea of Five Nights at Freddy's is literally like the best idea for a Horror Nights maze. But I'm glad that they're including this, and they've already confirmed that we are gonna have at least some sort of movie-ish thing, whether it's posters or scare opportunity, photo opportunity, whatever the case may be. I'm glad they included it, because that is like this year when they announced the movie, I was like, that's got to be at Horror Nights. So I'm glad we have even just a little bit. I'm glad we have it there.
And then for live entertainment, so like Cody was saying, they got rid of the special effects soundstage, and that's where we used to have the Jabberwockies, and I've like seen them every year since, you know, I've been going to Horror Nights, and it's kind of sad that it wasn't announced that they're going to be there this year. So it looks like they're going to be utilizing Waterworld, and they announced that there's going to be the Purge Dangerous Waters. It's just a EDM fueled stunt spectacular with fire in that area. So that's what you have to look forward to there. Which, I mean, I'm still kind of excited because I like Waterworld type shows. Like, I like Waterworld. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, I'm interested to see what they do there. And I mean, in their promo poster too, they show the Waterworld little barrel thing right there. I'll put
the water tower.
The water tower. So
I think what's good about this is they're actually going to utilize this not for a queue, but you know how big of a people eater Waterworld is. Like, I think honestly, it's going to be one of the things that takes a lot of weight off of the weight on the escalator, and then the lower lot stuff. People are going to be up top. I'm pretty sure they're going to be running the show all night, especially if it's not too demanding on like people. If it's lights and music and like fire effects and all that practical stuff, rather than like a show type thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's just Waterworld with EDM music, that might not help so much. But if they run this all night long, or it's something you can just like walk into and it's like a not dance party, but like a club style thing, it'll eat people up. So the lines, I'm assuming they're going to be shorter because of this. So I think it's good. We'll see. I mean, the Purge, how many times have we gone through something Purge related at Halloween Horror Nights? But you know, it's cool that they're utilizing that space, especially because special effects isn't there, and it sucks we're not going to be able to see the Jabberwocky. Maybe they'll show it, whatever, but yeah.
And then now we want to dive into our 8 specific tips that I think are really going to help you. So we already gave you all the background information. Now this is how you use that information in conjunction with this information to make the best experience for yourself. Okay, tip number 1. So arrive early. The event starts at 7 p.m. if you don't buy the early access, which that'll be tip number 2. So arrive early. Event starts at 7. I would suggest showing up maybe about an hour and a half before, just so that you get your parking situated. And then, I mean, if you end up parking in general parking, you're gonna have to make that walk through City Walk, so that's gonna take time. There's gonna be a lot of people. You still have to go through security, and those lines get long.
Oh yeah.
Especially when, you know, if you wait till later, you're not gonna get in right at 7 if you show up later. So that's tip number 1 for me.
Yeah, I think the most drastic part about parking, aside from like the pricing, is the fact that you will have to walk from, sometimes even over in like ET on the top floors, you'll have to go all the way down the escalators, and you have to go all the way down through City Walk, and then once you get to the line for security, it can take a minute. So just be prepared. I would say even an hour and a half early if you could. Just to, you know, you can walk through the shops and stuff like that. You don't necessarily need to be through security waiting at the gate an hour and a half early. You can just be there a while prior to entry, because it does get kind of hectic.
Tip number 2, early access. So something that is new this year, which was included last year, is if you had like Frequent Fear or like the 2 p.m. one, or with the Universal Studios Pass, we were able to get in as early as 5:30, as long as you were there at 5:30, and then at some point they had like cut it off. That was included before. Now I'm gonna put it right here. They're making you pay early, and it's between $10 to $25 a day, depending on the day that you go and how like late and close to October 31st you go. So highly recommend doing that. You want to be one of the first people in there, because if you wait around to go do everything with everybody else, it's going to be chaos. And yes, people are going to argue like, well, okay, so another thing that's big for Horror Night is the opening ceremony. If that's something you're interested in watching, by all means, it is really cool. I've watched them a billion times, and it's all the same thing. I mean, it's just the hype of being on the main street right there in in Universal Studios, next to like the Hello Kitty area where the fire towers are, and seeing like a scare actor come out and announce that the event's gonna happen, and then they like bring all their monster friends out, and everybody starts, you know, pulling their chainsaws, and it's like a rush of energy. But then as soon as that clears, everybody makes a dash for it. And in the meantime, with early access, my tip for you is going into tip number 3, go straight to the lower lot. So again, the lower lot typically has the bigger, busier mazes. You want to get down there ASAP, especially for Stranger Things, because Stranger Things in the past, those were long lines. Like the weekend was last year, like those are always long lines. So when you get in at 5:30, you're able to go to the lower lot, and some of those mazes open up like at 6. So you want to go straight down. You're going to make a left, and if they still utilize it, they were utilizing the Transformers queue, but also behind Panda Express to start lining up for that. So you want to get down there as soon as possible, line up for Stranger Things 4, and then from there, or I guess The Exorcist 2, and then from there, like, you know, do those lower lot ones first, and then you go up to the top, because everybody that's first coming in, if they don't know, they're all going to hit the top ones at the same time. And then when they're done with them, then they're going to go down. But what's beneficial too about going to the lower lot is 2 of those mazes down there are in sound stages, so it doesn't matter if it's still light outside, it's going to be dark in there. Because when you go to Horror Nights early and you're at an outdoor maze that's not in a sound stage, you can see the light from the outside, so sometimes it kind of ruins the effect. So definitely go straight down and hit those 2 mazes, and then The Last of Us that's down there, which is probably going to be another popular one, I'm assuming.
Horror elements from the game. I mean, the show was not scary, but you get what I mean. Like a lot of practical effects. The clickers look ugly, like a lot of that. So I'm assuming it's based off the game. We'll obviously see on September 7th. But I do think that's kind of going to be one of the mazes everybody shoots towards. I think Stranger Things is gonna be the busiest one for sure. But yeah, all those mazes down there are gonna get busy.
And Holidays in Hell. I'm not gonna leave that one out. Holidays in Hell was so good. Started as a scare zone, loved it. Then turned it into a maze like 3 years ago.
I think it was 2019.
And so good. And then they brought it back again. So I'm like really excited for them to see what they bring back.
Yeah.
But now going into tip number 4.
Okay, so for the past 2 years, when we've gone to the event, we've gone on the first day. And the first day is not really that packed. It's more like the influencer day. Everybody who's posted on YouTube and TikTok, whatever, they're there for their content. So we got through all the houses on our first day for the past 3 years, no issues. Or I guess the past 2 years, no issues. All the mazes were done in the first day. The thing about it is when you get in early and there's a lot to do, you're going to be really, really thirsty. And I recommend, I know Aaliyah does too, to get the refillable cups. I think it's every 10 minutes. You can get a refill every 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, every 10 minutes you get a refill.
With the purchase of one for the day you're there. So obviously this isn't going to be a long-term thing, but if you're trying to get through all these houses, you need to hydrate, you need to stay hydrated, especially since we're technically not, I mean, we're out of summer now, but it's still hot. Especially out in LA, the sun's gonna be out. So I would recommend getting one of these, and it's $17.99, or I think there's a pass discount.
There's if you buy 2, then it goes to like $16.99. If you buy 3, I think it's like $15.99.
Mm-hmm. So these I recommend it, especially because there's stations almost everywhere. You can walk into the burger place in Springfield. I don't know what it's called.
They have
Krusty Burger.
Krusty Burger. You can go to
the Mexican restaurant where the Dia de los Muertos area is at. Up by Waterworld, since there's going to be a show, there's a station there that you can fill this at. Jurassic Cafe, literally like any place that serves food, they will have the Coke Freestyle machines, so you can get soda, water, whatever you want in this cup. I recommend it. This is the one from 2021. We bought the ones for this one. And then I think we bought the ones for last year's event too. So I'm assuming this year we won't have to invest in those. I really think it's a good idea because it is hot in here in California.
But also, like, I feel like Universal's pricing is, even though, there's, comparing Universal and Disney, I just feel like Universal's prices for some things too are a little bit more compared to Disney in certain aspects. Like,
yeah, I think it's just because they know that, it sucks, but they can charge what they want. But on things like hydration, I think they're always going to jack it up because everybody's got to get some water, get some drink. They're going to be thirsty.
Yeah, and like you don't want to be spending I think it's like probably like $6 or $7 on a small bottle of Gilly water from Harry Potter when you can just fill that whole thing up with water at like one of the stations for free.
Yeah, especially on those nights where you're going to be standing in the line for 3 hours. What was the weekend last year? It was like 90 minutes when we first got there, and then we saw it bump up to 210 minutes. Like, those lines can get long, so you're going to want to stay hydrated. And
especially if you are planning to drink too, like, have your balance. You're going to be dehydrated out there from the drinking and from the heat, so it's good to always have water on hand. Sidebar to that with the drinking, this is something that I hope they bring back this year. This is the Chucky Elysian that was brought for, I think it was 2 years ago?
No, this was last year.
Was it already last year?
It was already last year.
Oh, Lord.
Because it was right, they sold it at the cafe by the entrance
Express.
to Nintendo World. Mm-hmm. That small one, because we had this while we were waiting in line for the weekend.
And I guess there were a lot of people that didn't know about it, so like I was in line like sipping it, and they were all like looking at me, and I was like, oh, I wonder if like something's on my face. And then they were like, oh, where did you get this, and what is it? And I was like, oh, it's a pumpkin beer with cranberry. It's Elysian. I saw it right there. And then I think the last time we went, like after the time that I got this, they didn't have them anymore, so they must have sold out really fast. But I hope they bring these back because it was pretty good. That's why I kept the can.
And I think going into tip number 5, with the whole like it's hot and you need to stay hydrated thing, also dress very comfortably. Now you can dress as Halloweenish as you want, just no costumes,
Gothish,
no masks, nothing that's gonna cover your whole head. and nothing like you can't dress up as the Mandalorian to go to Horror Nights. But I would recommend kind of bringing options, because the nighttime is going to be way different than the daytime, especially when it gets into those later hours. It will get a little bit chilly, and Universal City's on top of that hill, so there's going to be chilly, windy, breezy nights. So I would just say, if you're going to come in pants, don't expect to not sweat, but also it'll better prepare you for the evening. And then they're going to sell hoodies and stuff like that, so if you get cold, you can always just go and grab a hoodie.
Always check the weather. So projected right now, as of today, September 1st, it looks like it's going to be 81 degrees. But for the time that the event starts, it hits around 75, and then like past 11 p.m. it's like 68. So it's not freezing. So don't be going in like a long sleeve and like long pants, sweater, like, you know, heavy sweaters, things like that. As you get into October, there are definitely some nights when it's like, man, I gotta wear like 2 pairs of pants because I'm like freezing.
Yeah.
So always just check the weather. For my first, you know, opening night outfit, I'm planning on going in some shorts that I bought that are kind of like grungy looking, distressed. Planning to wear in terms of clothes is, and again, you can do whatever you want, but I'm gonna go in these distressed shorts that I bought off of Amazon. Something comfortable, especially for getting on rides too, because you're gonna have to climb in and out of a boat if you go on Jurassic World. So these kind of have some stretch to them. But what I also liked is they have like not too much skin showing, but I added this ribbon. It came with the black string. But I'm gonna be wearing these shorts, so distressed shorts with a red ribbon, and I'm gonna wear them with a horror t-shirt, which I think I'm probably gonna buy the day of. We'll probably go to Spencer's or something. Yeah. I'll see if I distress that too, just because I want to make it look, you know, grungy. And then I'm thinking of wearing some fishnets under them, some horror-themed fishnets. And then I'm just going to wear like my 270s, probably my black ones, just because you want comfortable shoes. It's a lot of walking, especially when you get on the Terror Tram, because they drop you off down there. And you have to walk, and you have to walk up the hill by the Bates Motel, and then you have to go through the World's backdrop, and now they're going to have you go through Nope, and then you got to get back on the tram. Like, it's a lot of walking.
Yeah. Don't take my advice, because I don't really wear comfortable. I'm saying, like, I wear my Ultra Boost sometimes. My Yeezys I'll wear, but typically I don't wear walking shoes. So don't do what I do, but definitely wear something comfortable, because it's not you sit in a doom buggy and you go through the maze like that. You are going to be walking all night long.
And for people that don't know what 270s are, I'll put a picture here on the screen.
Yeah, they're comfortable. They're Nikes.
They're comfortable.
So yeah, I think that's our tips for dressing comfortable. Just don't overwhelm yourself. Don't feel like you got to dress up. It's something you should really just go comfortable. If you're hanging out with people, you're gonna be around a lot of people all night long, so you don't want to be sweating. Wear deodorant, and maybe bring extra deodorant, because in those lines you are sandwiched with people. And some of the houses too, they're not really air conditioned. Like Stranger Things will be, because it's in the soundstage. Extras will be, but like The Last of Us, I doubt it'll be air conditioned. Holidays in Hell is probably not going to be air conditioned. The mazes on the upper lot, not going to be air conditioned. So bring extra deodorant. Maybe bring an extra pair of socks. I don't know how Waterworld's going to go, but extra pair of socks. And yeah.
Tip number 6. So for tip number 6, like Cody had brought it up earlier, going through security, you don't want to bring outside food and drinks, because they will make you toss them. If you have like a medical condition, I think you have to, like, it's kind of sad to say, but you kind of have to prove it. And they'll let you take certain things, but even if things are unopened, they're not going to you're going to make you dump them. I've seen people with full bottles of water, brand new, in the trash.
Yep.
Brand new bags of chips in the trash. Like, they're not going to let you bring anything in, because they already know about people resealing and you know, doing all that nonsense. Obviously, no drugs. Don't try to be like, oh, I'm going to show up and they're not going to catch me. I have a good way of hiding it. You're going to ruin the experience for everybody else, because you're going to slow everybody else down. And they have like a lot of drug sniffing dogs, and these securities are very thorough. Like, I see people and their e-cig pens are all in the trash. Like, dude, what did you think? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And then also, no, don't bring big bags. So I'm going to show you 2 examples of bags that I recommend bringing for sure. The third is going to be another option, but you know, it'll kind of I'll start with the smallest one first. So this is the one I'm probably gonna wear most often. It's gonna be my Beetlejuice like fanny pack. If you have anything about this size, highly recommend you bringing a bag like this, because if you get on Harry Potter, if you get on what is it, The Mummy, they have the lockers. So if your bag is too big, they're gonna make you put your bag in that locker. But also, like in terms of security and stuff, this just makes it easier to have something really close by with everything, so you don't lose it. You don't want things falling out of your pockets. Like, highly recommend.
Oh,
Advil. As you get old, Advil.
Tylenol.
Tylenol. Yeah, so that's my recommended bag. Last year, I picked up this cute purse too, but I think I'm still gonna lean towards the other bag. This is the little Boo bag that I bought in City Walk last year. It's about medium size, about the size of my head. And super convenient too. The only thing with like bags like that is you're gonna have to like put it over, or take the strap off. And this one, I think they do make you put into a locker, so
yeah,
you're taking your chances on that. And then lastly, another bag that is an option, but they're for sure gonna make you put in a locker if you go onto those rides, is a Loungefly, which
I was gonna say,
Loungeflies.
if you are gonna, so this is the Chucky one. Aaliyah has a lot of horror ones that I'm sure on days where we're not really planning on riding rides, like the days where they're gonna be busy, she'll probably bring these. Like she said, she'll probably bring the fanny pack most nights, because even if we go and we just ride rides, walking through the scare zones and stuff like that, the fanny pack helps a lot. But certain nights, I'm sure she'll bring Loungefly. It's a smaller backpack, and it's not too bulky, but like she said, putting that in the locker is not fun.
And then what you don't want to bring is a backpack like this. Like, this is way too big. You don't want to bring a big oversized bag like this, because I don't even think they let you bring bags this big, to be honest. I've seen people, I think, with like Jam Sports, like the basic ones.
Yeah.
But you don't want to bring a backpack that big, because it's just going to be a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah, it's going to slow you down. Security is not going to be fun. I mean, if you need like diaper bags and stuff like that, I don't know why you would be bringing your infant to Horror Nights, but diaper bag sized bags, they're going to inconvenience yourself. So I would stay away, steer clear. Probably, if you're gonna invest in a fanny pack, it's the best option.
And they have them everywhere. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive. Amazon.
Yeah, Target.
Target.
You don't gotta buy the Beetlejuice one. That was just our example.
And then tip number 7. So if you are a pass holder, this is highly recommended because it'll save you money, especially if you're going to be making multiple trips to Horror Nights. So if you have the Gold or Platinum Universal Pass, like the regular daytime pass, then you are able to enter before 6 p.m. with the parking, and the parking's already included for that, so you don't have to pay for general parking. I think if you wanted preferred, I think we paid like $15 for preferred last year.
15, 20. I think it varies depending on the night.
Yeah.
Like weekend prices might go up, but yeah, 15 or 20 for preferred, and then front gate.
And that's compared to, if you have preferred at regular parking now at Horror Nights or Universal Studios is about $30. I think for parking, like, that's a lot. I think it's almost the same or more than Disney.
Yeah.
And then preferred parking is $50. Front of the gate parking is $70. Like, it's gonna add up, especially if you go multiple times. So my tip is, if you can get there, again, you want to show up early anyways, but if you can get there before 6 and you have the Gold or Platinum Pass, then your parking will be free for general parking, unless you want to do the preferred, which isn't much of a price difference.
Yeah. And I would say, if you're only going a couple times, let's say you got a single ticket for a night and then you decide, oh, I really like this, but I'll come back another night, preferred. Do preferred, because it's less of a walk. 2, when you exit the event, you won't have to, like we said, you're going to walk all the way down from the parking structure. At the end of the night, after all that walking, 2 in the morning, you're not going to want to walk all the way back up.
Everybody starts looking like zombies.
So I would say, if you are a frequent Fear Pass holder, like we are, preferred on some of those nights, like nights where you have people that maybe you could split the cost with, definitely do it. But people with single day tickets, just do it. Just invest in it. I mean, if you're really bougie, you can get the front gate parking. if you're going for one night, that's probably like the best option, not price wise, but like convenience wise. But other than that, preferred. It will save you not just your time, but also your legs
And your sanity.
Yeah, because at the end of the night, I'm telling you, after all the strobe effects and the scares, your adrenaline will wear off, and you will be like, I have to walk all the way up to Curious George. Are you kidding me?
I gotta walk all the way through City Walk, past Buca de
Buca de
Beppo.
Beppo. You gotta smell everybody after everybody's been sweating and stinking. Like, just preferred.
And then the last and final tip, and then we'll get out of your hair, is tip number 8. Definitely download the Universal Studios app. Yes, during the day it's going to have the general Universal Studios wait times, but at night it switches over and it has the maze times on there.
Mm-hmm.
And it also lets you know what foods they have at the different food locations if you're trying to do that again. But yeah, it lets you know the wait times, lets you know where things are located. If you're not familiar with Universal Studios, it'll show you like a little map and show you where they are.
Yeah, it'll also show you when things are going to be open. Like, I'm assuming Nintendo World's going to be closed for Horror Nights. But like Harry Potter, the Hogsmeade is all open. The Universal upper lot is not going to be open. Like Secret Life of Pets won't be open. Despicable Me won't be open because I think they do the queues for the houses there. Because last year for
Despicable Me is not open. I don't
Yeah.
remember if Secret Life was open.
It wasn't last year,
It wasn't?
it? No, because the queue goes through that whole
Oh, you're
downtown
right,
area.
Yeah, you're right.
So those won't be open, like the Minion Cafe, but the Universal app literally has everything that'll be open. And you can check it. Even in the daytime before you go, you can see when things close, when Horror Nights starts to kind of be incorporated in, and it's a big help. It really is.
Yeah, so that was a lot of talking. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, you don't have to listen to our tips and tricks, but this is coming from somebody with almost a decade of experience and somebody that's been going for the past 3 years, 2 years.
This will be the 3rd year that I go. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Share us with your friends and family. I know it's been a while, but we're back. So expect more videos from us. And we appreciate your support so much. Go Horror Nights.
See you on the 7th.